Hey everyone, JCS StarCraft here, bringing you a game. This is I think from one of the quarterfinals of the recent ESL GO4SC2 weekly tournaments. And this time we have a match between MaDFroG, a very famous Warcraft 3 player, very good at the undead in Warcraft 3, and BratOK right here, part of the Radical Online Extremists, one of my favorite Terran players to watch. We have Zerg versus Terran, which right now in the state of StarCraft 2 is getting a little bit of I think controversy, or I think people are saying that there are imbalance issues, especially Zerg versus Terran. Terran, in a lot of games you might see players have equal sized armies, and just very difficult for Zerg players to really kind of push in once a Terran has massed a particular set of units and everything too. So we'll see how both players play right now. BratOK though he really favors the Bio Ball, especially versus Protoss. I haven't seen him play a lot of Zerg players, so I'm curious to see what he does and how he's going to play this game right now. Looking at MaDFroG, one of the players in one of the bigger StarCraft tournaments, the Intel Extreme Masters invite tournament, which invited 16 of the top beta players. MaDFroG was invited to that. Some people were questioning why that happened. Some other of the more famous beta players like Tester, I don't think is part of that. And he's definitely has played a good amount of the beta as well, but possibly not as, wasn't ranked, I think, as highly during the beta as some of the other players. BratOK was a very highly ranked player there. So right now, MaDFroG going for a fast expansion, throwing down his pull at 14, going to be getting his spawning pull now a little bit late on that mineral, but also throwing down the gas at the same time. So we should be seeing fast expand plus some sort of speedling, I assume, from MaDFroG, so that he can defend that fast expansion as much as possible. Meanwhile, it looks like BratOK has gone with the 12, 13, and just pumping out Marines right now, throwing down this supply depot here in case any weirdness starts happening at his borders, at his edges. And both players, MaDFroG getting that scout going up in there, and BratOK able to run in and see what's going on. Kind of has a guess that there's the extractor going down, probably going to be seeing some speedlings running across the base. Has he seen the expansion? Yes, he has seen the expansion, so wasn't able to get his SCV there early enough to kind of do some harass, using this Marine to kind of pick off anything that might be hanging around outside. And MaDFroG now just, we'll see whether or not he takes off his drones right as they get 100 gas, and just going to focus on the minerals, going to focus on pumping out those Zerglings as much as possible. 100 down, speed getting upgraded for MaDFroG. Meanwhile, it looks like BratOK actually going to be going for a factory and going to be pumping out some Hellions. Hellions, great unit to hold off against the Zerg, especially when they get blue flames and get the blue upgrade. And BratOK going to be taking a pretty early expansion for himself as well. Going to be using this barracks right here to kind of hold off this choke point. I think this is a great move so that he can try to focus a lot of his concentration. This area wide open for attack, and when the speedlings start coming out, it's going to get pretty difficult to kind of hold everything off. So MaDFroG now does get that second extractor down, still going to be getting gas, although he doesn't have anything else being, not going to go roaches. Looks like he's just focusing on speed right now, but still getting that gas and morphing his hatchery into the lair. I keep getting a lair and hive mixed up. I'm not sure why, so I apologize if that's incorrect. Please correct me if I'm wrong. BratOK right now just kind of pumping out those Hellions as well, finally getting his second gas, but mostly just working on getting units out, a lot of non-gas heavy units, and throwing down his bunker, trying to secure this expansion. This is going to be pretty vital for him to hold on to, as MaDFroG will be pulling ahead in the economy pretty soon, already ahead right now, with 28 over 22 harvesters. And we'll see whether or not BratOK's going to be try to push in with these Hellions. I think some Zerglings up there just already starting to scout, already starting to see what his opponent's up to. And I like what BratOK's doing here, using the double tech lab placed very, very carefully. I don't think that anything can get through here, so this would be a pretty good wall off from this point, and he can just focus on attacks from this side. Looks like MaDFroG has completed upgrading to the, lair, and right now going to be sending out a whole bunch of links to kind of test and see what's going on. Meanwhile, BratOK going to be sending out his Hellions to do harass on the expansion. BratOK now just pumping out more Marines and getting tanks as well. Going to be trying to use his tanks to hold down, blast away at those lings as they come in. And here come that Hellion. There is a Queen just kind of wandering out in the middle of, what is going on here? Oh, it looks like, interesting. I mean, this Queen is ripe for the picking, but BratOK going to be focusing on trying to go to the harass, and there's action all over the map right now. Hellions in the base, trying to fry as many drones as we can. Going to keep an eye on the income tab, and meanwhile, looks like MaDFroG trying to push in, might be able to take out this tech lab, but these SCVs are running in just in time to save it. It's burning in just enough to hold it off on the other side. The Hellions, unfortunately, I think double action going on at once. BratOK wasn't able to micro-release as well as he wanted to, and was able to fry everything on the field, is ahead in harvesters right now, so a good attack from the Hellions. And meanwhile, it looks like, okay, so this Overlord is just vomiting, and the Queen has traveled all the way across the map, and he's going to be planting, I have never actually seen this before, he's going to be planting creep tumors based on the spawn here, which will be really interesting to see because he can just run those Zerglings very quickly into the base. Morphing into Banelings right now, this thing's going to pop, it's just going to fall, and those Zerglings are going to be able to run in. That factory is now on fire. Where are the Zerglings? There they are. They're going to try to run it. Oh, and BratOK very, very quick to throw down another tech lab. It's going to be hold off for a little bit, but I think that's going to fall as well. And here come those Zerglings just running in. Going to cause a lot of damage. The tanks are sieged in good positions right now for each other, but going to be hitting each other and just kind of doing damage to some friendly fire everywhere. And it looks like that creep is spreading. I don't know if BratOK can see that. I think he does start seeing creep up there right now, so maybe he's thinking MaDFroG took some sort of crazy expo right here, but that's not what happened. MaDFroG just started vomiting creep and got his Queen up there to spread the creep. Very, very cool play by MaDFroG on this map. These Zerglings are going to be incredibly fast right now, just screaming across, and MaDFroG just constantly getting that out there. Looking at the production tab right now, all that we have going down are creep tumors, and now able to run his lings into the base. Right now, just looking at the unit count, it just does not look like BratOK only has 1 tank and 5 Marines. Now just throwing down his starport, does have just only 2 Marines in this bunker. Is it going to be enough to hold out? The Zerglings are getting this around. BratOK trying to run his tank away, but both of them go down right now. No units really out on the field. There's 2 Marines in there and just 1 and a whole bunch of SCVs. These Zerglings are going to be doing a lot of damage to BratOK right now. If you can't micro everything properly, the starport is still being built. They weren't able to take that out. Forced to lift off his command center. He's trying to get tanks. He's trying to get Marines out onto the field. Doing a good job. MaDFroG trying to do some damage to some of the buildings right now, but BratOK really having to micro everything right now. This tank could be in a lot of trouble, but is getting surrounded by the SCVs, and they are forming some sort of protection